Welcome to my channel, Worth Old Coins. Today is best. Top 5 coins you want to miss. We're diving into the world of America. Coins, please don't skip this last coin. So let's get it started. Top 1. The 1973 5-cent coin of the United States of America, commonly known as the Jefferson nickel. It's a notable representative of mid-20th century American coinage and part of a series that has remained in continuous production since 1938. Struck by the U.S. Mint, the 1973 Jefferson nickel served as a law-denomination yet widely circulated coin during a period of economic transition in the United States, marked by post-Vietnam War challenges, the tail end of the space race, and the early effects of inflation. The coin was made from a copper-nickel alloy consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel and weighed exactly 5 grams with a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and a plain, smooth edge. In 1973, nickels were produced at 3 primary mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver D, and San Francisco S, the latter of which typically struck proof versions for collectors. Each mint variant is identifiable by a small mint mark located to the right of Monticello on the reverse of the coin. Except for Philadelphia, which carried no mark that year. The obverse front of the 1973 Jefferson nickel features the enduring, right-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the 3rd President of the United States and principal author of the Declaration of Independence. This portrait was designed by Felix Schlag, a German-American sculptor who won a national design competition in 1938. The profile of Jefferson is stoic and classical, emphasizing the dignity and intellect of the founding father. Along the top left edge of the coin is the motto "In God We Trust," and on the right, the word liberty followed by the year of issue 1973, separated by a small 5-pointed star. The details in Jefferson's hair, coat collar, acquaste, and expression reflect Schlag's intent to balance realism with idealism, coining the coin with American democratic ideals. The reverse back of the coin showcases Monticello, Jefferson's beloved plantation home in Charlottesville, Virginia. The neoclassical structure is depicted from the front, with steps leading up to the domed building. The design is highly recognizable and has become a defining symbol of the Jefferson nickel. Above Monticello is the E pluribus unum, out of many, one, a traditional motto of the United States. Below the building is the name Monticello, with the denomination 5 cents inscribed underneath, and at the bottom curve of the coin is the United States of America. Despite being a relatively simple architectural rendering, the Monticello design is known for its symmetry and understated elegance, though over the years it has drawn criticism for the lack of fine detail, due to limitations in minting technology at the time. In terms of mintage, the 1973 Jefferson nickel was produced in large quantities, over 384 million at the Philadelphia Mint and nearly 400 million at the Denver Mint, ensuring that it was a ubiquitous part of American commerce during the early 1970s. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins for collector sets, made with special dies and polished blanks to enhance detail and luster. As a result of its high circulation numbers, the 1973 nickel is not rare in circulated condition, but high-grade examples MS65 and above, and pristine proof versions are of particular interest to coin collectors. These coins still turn up in change today, showcasing the enduring practicality of their design and material. The 1973 Jefferson nickel occupies a meaningful place in American numismatic history. It represents a period when traditional coin designs were still in use before major redesigns and commemorative issues became more common in the late 20th and early 21st centuries. It also reflects America's long-standing reverence for its founding fathers and the democratic ideals they championed. Beyond its role as currency, the coin serves as a subtle educational tool, reminding millions of Americans daily of Thomas Jefferson's contributions to the Republic. In retrospect, the 1973 5-cent piece stands not only as a functional part of the economy, but also as a small but enduring tribute to leadership, architecture, and national identity during an era of profound political and cultural change in the United States. Top Tooth 1971 5-cent coin of the United States, widely recognized as the Jefferson nickel, is a significant piece in American numismatic history, representing a continuation of the long-standing coinage design that honors Thomas Jefferson, the nation's third president and principal author of the Declaration of Independence, minted in a time of considerable social and political transformation in America. The 1971 nickel remained a symbol of national continuity. This coin, like others in the Jefferson series, was composed of a durable cupronickel alloy 75% copper and 25% nickel with a weight of 5 grams, a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, and a plain, smooth edge. It was produced at the Philadelphia Mint No Mint mark, the Denver Mint with a D Mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint with an S Mint mark, which in this year struck only proof coins specially minted for collectors with enhanced detail and a mirror-like finish. The obverse front of the 1971 Jefferson nickel features the right-facing bust of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag, whose design was first adopted in 1938 and remained in use for several decades. Jefferson is depicted in a classical profile, his hair tied back in the style of 18th-century statesmen, wearing a formal coat that reflects the dignity and intellect for which he is remembered. The "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" flank Jefferson's image, while the date 1971 appears beside a small 5-pointed star on the right side. Schlag's obverse design is considered one of the most stable and recognizable in U.S. coinage, intended to honor Jefferson not only as a president, but also as a philosopher, architect, and founder. The reverse back of the coin presents a finely balanced image of Monticello, Jefferson's neoclassical estate in Virginia. The design, also by Felix Schlag, emphasizes symmetry and the elegant architecture of the home, featuring the domed roof, pillars, and front steps. Above the structure is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, out of many, one, while below appears the name Monticello, followed by the coin's denomination, 5 cents, and United States of America inscribed along the lower edge. Although considered a minimalist design, Monticello's depiction is rich in symbolic value, representing not only Jefferson's architectural genius, but also the Enlightenment ideals upon which America was founded. Collectors often look for coins with strong strikes that show full steps on Monticello, a rare detail that significantly increases a coin's value if preserved in uncirculated condition. Mintage totals for the 1971 Jefferson nickel were substantial, reflecting the coin's central role in daily commerce. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 316 million nickels. The Denver Mint produced over 313 million, and the San Francisco Mint created over 3 million proof coins. The high mintage of business strike coins makes circulated examples quite common, but proof coins and uncirculated coins with sharp detail and no signs of wear are increasingly prized among collectors, especially those certified by grading services at MS-65 or higher. The 1971 5-cent coins served American consumers during an era marked by the Vietnam War, the ongoing civil rights movement, the rise of counterculture, and growing economic challenges like inflation and unemployment. While not carrying any special commemorative design, the Jefferson nickel held steady as a numismatic constant in a changing America. Its presence in pockets, cash drawers, and vending machines tied Americans of all backgrounds to a shared currency, and to the enduring values symbolized by Thomas Jefferson himself. Today, the 1971 Jefferson nickel remains readily available in circulation, a testament to its durability and the strength of its original design. Though it may seem modest, this 5-cent coin carries with it decades of American history and a legacy of leadership, intellect, and nation-building for collectors and historians alike. It stands as a humble yet powerful piece of everyday heritage and artifact of a time when the nation was reflecting deeply on its past while grappling with the future. Top 3. The 1975-cent coin of the United States of America. Known as the Jefferson nickel, it's a small yet enduring piece of American currency that reflects the stability of mid-20th century coin design and the legacy of one of the nation's most influential founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson. Struck during a time of political transformation and social unrest in the United States, the 1970 Jefferson nickel continued the classic design that had been in circulation since 1938, composed of a Cooper nickel, alloy 75% copper and 25% nickel. The coin weighs 5 grams, has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, and a plain, smooth edge. In 1970, these nickels were produced at 3 U.S. Mint facilities: Philadelphia, No Mint Mark, Denver D, and San Francisco S. The San Francisco Mint was responsible solely for proof coins that year, specially made for collectors using polished blanks and dies to achieve sharper detail and a mirror-like surface. No nickels were made for general circulation at San Francisco in 1970. The obverse front of the 1970 Jefferson nickel features the right-facing bust of Thomas Jefferson, designed by sculptor Felix Schlag, whose design was selected in a national competition in 1938. Jefferson is shown in a dignified neoclassical style, with his hair tied back and coat collar visible, representing wisdom, leadership, and the Enlightenment. Values he championed. To the left of the portrait appears the national motto, "In God We Trust," while on the right are the liberty and the year of issue. 1970, separated by a small 5-pointed star. Schlag's original design has remained largely unchanged through the decades, becoming a familiar and trusted image in American pocket change. The reverse back of the coin depicts Jefferson's famous home, Monticello, a neoclassical estate in Virginia that reflects both his architectural interest and intellectual depth. The design shows the building from the front, with its iconic domed roof, steps, and symmetrical columns. Above the depiction is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, out of many, one, and beneath the image is the name Monticello. Below that appears the denomination 5 cents and wrapping around the bottom edge, the words United States of America. The reverse is simple yet elegant, and despite slight modifications to improve strike clarity over the years, its core design remained consistent in 1970. Collectors often pay attention to the full steps, detail beneath Monticello indicating a sharper strike with complete detail on the building steps, which adds significant value to high-grade specimens in terms of mintage. 1970 saw over 238 million nickels struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and more than 515 million at the Denver Mint, making them common in circulation. However, only 2.6 million proof coins were produced at San Francisco, and these are sought after by collectors in high grades. Though these coins are not rare overall, examples in pristine condition, especially those with high grading from professional services like MS65 or PR67, are valued by numismatists. The 1970 Jefferson nickel holds historical relevance, as it circulated during a pivotal year in U.S. history marked by the Vietnam War. Rising environmental awareness, civil rights movements, and growing distrust in political institutions. While small in denomination, this nickel represents the daily commerce and economic rhythm of American life in that era. The 1970 5-cent Jefferson nickel is more than just pocket change, is a lasting tribute to Thomas Jefferson and a representation of American values such as liberty, democracy, and unity. As part of a long-running and stable coin series, it bridges generations of U.S. citizens who have carried, spent, and collected it. While modest in face value, it carries historical weight, reminding us of the enduring influence of Jefferson's legacy and the importance of national symbols in everyday life. Even today, over 5 decades later, the 1970 Jefferson nickel continues to appear in circulation, quietly telling the story of a nation through its consistent presence in the hands of millions. Top 4. The 1976 5-cent coin of the United States of America. More commonly known as the Jefferson nickel, stands as a durable symbol of American history and national identity during the country's bicentennial year. Although 1976 was a landmark year marking the 200th anniversary of American independence, the Jefferson nickel did not receive a special bicentennial design, unlike the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins. Nevertheless, the 1976 Jefferson nickel remained an essential part of everyday commerce and coinage, linking America's revolutionary foundations, represented by Thomas Jefferson, with the economic and political realities of the 20th century. The coin was struck in cupro-nickel alloy, 75% copper, 25% nickel, with a weight of 5 grams, a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, and a plain edge. It was minted at 3 U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia No Mint Mark, Denver D, and San Francisco S, with the San Francisco Mint exclusively producing proof coins for collectors, polished and struck with extra care. The obverse front of the 1976 Jefferson nickel features the enduring right-facing profile of President Thomas Jefferson, the 3rd President of the United States and principal author of the Declaration of Independence, fitting symbol for the bicentennial era. Designed by Felix Schlag in 1938, Jefferson's image is presented in neoclassical style, with visible detail in his hair, coat, and face that reflect dignity and intellect. On the left side of the obverse is the American motto, "In God We Trust," while on the right is liberty followed by the date 1976, separated by a star. Schlag's design remained largely unchanged for decades, offering a familiar and unifying visual element to generations of Americans who used the coin daily. The reverse back of the coin displays a simple yet symbolic rendering of Monticello, Jefferson's stately Virginia estate. This image, also created by Felix Schlag, emphasizes symmetry and classical architecture, featuring the building's dome, columns, and stairs. Above the structure is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, out of many, one, while the name Monticello is printed directly beneath the image. Below that, the denomination 5 cents is inscribed, and curving along the bottom rim of the coin is the United States of America. Despite its modest size and low denomination, the Jefferson nickel's reverse has long been appreciated for its architectural tribute and continuity of design. In 1976, amid bicentennial celebrations, the Jefferson nickel was minted in very large numbers, over 367 million at the Philadelphia Mint and more than 563 million at the Denver Mint, making it one of the most widely circulated coins of that year. The San Francisco Mint produced millions of proof nickels for collector sets, which were struck with special dies to produce mirror-like surfaces and sharper detail. Although the 1976 nickel is not rare, well-preserved examples in uncirculated MS65 or higher, or proof PR-65 and above grades remain desirable among collectors, especially when found with full steps on Monticello, an indicator of a strong and complete strike. The 1976 Jefferson nickel is a coin that quietly marks a momentous year in U.S. history. Though it did not feature a bicentennial-specific design, it nevertheless contributed to the patriotic atmosphere of the era through its connection to Jefferson, a key figure in America's founding. The coin reflects the enduring values of liberty, unity, and democracy, even as the nation grappled with economic issues such as inflation, political shifts following Watergate, and the winding down of the Vietnam War. It circulated in a time when Americans were looking both backward to their revolutionary roots and forward to a rapidly changing future. Today, the 1976 5-cent coin continues to be a common find in circulation, but also holds numismatic interest as part of a long-running series that spans American generations. It is valued not for its rarity, but for its legacy connecting ordinary people to extraordinary history with every transaction. As a result, the 1976 Jefferson nickel stands as a quiet but enduring tribute to both the bicentennial year and the enduring contributions of Thomas Jefferson, whose ideals helped shape the nation 2 centuries earlier. Top 5. The 1937 5-cent coin of the United States of America, popularly known as the Buffalo nickel, is one of the most iconic and historically rich coins in American numismatic history. Minted during a time of economic recovery following the Great Depression, the 1937 nickel captures the spirit of the American frontier and the nation's reverence for its indigenous heritage and natural beauty. Designed by renowned sculptor James Earl Fraser, the Buffalo nickel, officially a 5-cent piece, was first introduced in 1913 as a replacement for the Liberty Head nickel and remained in production till 1938. The 1937 issue was the penultimate year of its production, making it part of the final chapter of this beloved coin series. The coin was struck in cupro-nickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel, had a weight of 5 grams, a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, and a plain edge. It was minted at 3 U.S. Mints: Philadelphia, No Mint Mark, Denver D, and San Francisco S, and each variation carries different levels of rarity and collector value today. The obverse front of the 1937 Buffalo nickel features a striking right-facing portrait of a Native American chief, which Fraser created by combining the facial features of 3 real-life Native American individuals from different tribes. This composite portrait honors the strength, dignity, and cultural depth of America's first peoples. Above the head is the word Liberty, while the date 1937 is stamped near the shoulder to the right of the bust. The design is both bold and respectful, emphasizing detail in the chief's braids, facial contours, and traditional adornments. Unfortunately, due to high relief and inadequate metal flow in the early dies, the date area was particularly prone to wear over time, making clear date examples more desirable to collectors. The reverse back of the coin depicts a robust and majestic American bison, often referred to as a buffalo. Fraser modeled this figure after Black Diamond, a buffalo that resided in the Bronx Zoo in New York. The powerful stance of the bison, standing on a small mound, represents the rugged strength and endurance of the American frontier. Above the animal is the United States of America, and below it reads 5 cents. With the national motto E pluribus unum, out of many, one positioned above the buffalo's back. In the 1937 edition, the mound design was retained, though it had been slightly modified in earlier years to address concerns about premature die, wear, and denomination clarity. Among the 1937 issues, the most famous variant is the 1937 D3-legged buffalo, an error coin caused by over-polishing of the die at the Denver Mint, which resulted in the front leg of the buffalo appearing to be missing. This rare mint error has become a legendary piece among numismatists and commands high prices, depending on condition. However, standard 1937 nickels in circulated condition are still relatively affordable and widely collected due to their historical importance and captivating artwork. The 1937 Buffalo nickel is emblematic of America's efforts during the early 20th century to create coinage that was not only functional but also expressive of national identity and heritage. Its imagery reflects the closing of the American frontier, the cultural acknowledgement of indigenous peoples, and the pride in the vast natural landscape of the United States. These coins were commonly used in daily transactions, from buying food to paying transit fares, and would have passed through the hands of countless Americans in towns and cities across the country. As such, each surviving piece carries the quiet legacy of its era. Today, the 1937 5-cent coin continues to be cherished by collectors, historians, and those with a fascination for early American coin design, standing as a small but powerful bountiful monument to the country's history, resilience, and artistic ambition during a transformative period in the 20th century. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe my channel for more videos.